Masechet Menachot, making fantastic progress over here. And we've been talking all about the Bet HaMikdash, the Menorah from the Bet HaMikdash in the pages of the Gemara. And let's just say there's been robust discussions. We've been speaking how the Menorah was formed and different insights with regards to the Kalim, the vessels of the Bet HaMikdash respectively. And in the Menachot, there's a question of which parts, let's say, of a Korban are actually, let's say, essential in themselves. Remember, some vessels are crucial for korbanot. We were talking all about thoughts, different thoughts, that how important it is when you think about things. What can invalidate things? So we're talking about what parts are there. And the Mishnah on today's page is going to address a specific or a question in itself. But we'll, let's say, go on a tangent and focus on 4 specific objects in the Bet HaMikdash over here. First of all, the Bet HaMikdash Menorah, also, or some people call it a Chanukiah, also the passages from the Torah written in a mezuzah scroll inside the mezuzah itself. Remember, we spoke about mezuzah and tzitziot and so on and so forth in the previous page, and it also talks about the passages written in the Tefillin scrolls. Obviously, we learn about that in various portions, especially most notably the 3rd chapter inside the Kriyat Shema of Vayome was featured very much in Parshat Shalach, in the Torah portion of Shalach in the book of Bamidbar. We also look at the 4 fringes of tzitzit we're going to speak about also on today's page. So they specifically on today's page talk about menorah. So let's look at the Torah instructions, what it says inside the Torah itself. Within regards to building the menorah, it's a Bet HaMikdash vessel standing over, it's approximately 5 feet tall. And obviously it was lit daily, we know that, by the Kohanim, respectively. And the directions, very much learn about this in chapter 25 in the book of Shemot, Exodus, in verses 31 to 40. Very much, I believe that is in Parshat Truma, if I'm not mistaken. It says, I'll quote what says, "You shall make a menorah of pure gold. The menorah shall be of hammered work. Its base and its shaft, its cups, knobs, and flowers shall be of one piece. 6 branches shall issue from the sides, 3 branches from one side of the menorah, and 3 branches from the other side of the menorah. On one branch there shall be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with knobs and flowers. And on the next branch there shall be 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with knobs and flowers. So for all 6 branches, let's say, issuing from the menorah. And I think on the menorah itself there shall be 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with knobs and flowers, a knob of one piece with it under a pair of branches, and a knob of one piece with it under the second pair of branches, and a knob of one piece with it under the last pair of branches. So for all 6 branches issuing forth over here, this is what's stated over. All 6 branches issuing from the menorah, and on the menorah itself there should be 4 cups, like we said beforehand over there. So very, very interesting. Friends, anyone tuning in, we are exploring about the menorah here inside the Bet HaMikdash on today's page. It goes on, I'll just recap. And on the menorah itself there should be 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with knobs and flowers, a knob of one piece of it under a pair of branches, and a knob of one piece with it under the second pair of branches, and a knob of one piece with it under the last pair of branches. So for all 6 branches issuing from the menorah, their knobs and their stems shall be of one piece of it, the whole of it a single hammered piece of pure gold. Make it 7 lamps. The lamps shall be mounted as to give the lights on its front side, and its tongs and its 5 hands of pure gold, and it shall be made with all of these furnishings out of a talent of pure gold. And very, very interesting enough, and it just adds on with regards to the patterns for them. We very much have seen about beforehand over here. So just as an interesting tidbit also, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't necessarily know how to fashion the menorah. So I think he would take a piece of gold and throw it in a fire, and the Torah will actually be, the menorah itself will be fashioned in that specific way. Now, based on these, let's say, instructions which we see inside the Torah, one might reasonably assume that the menorah must be made of a single piece of gold, weighing a talent, and have 7 branches with 7 lamps, and include specific decorative elements respectively. By contrast, over here, inside the Mishnah on today's page, it mentions only 2 of these key elements, friends. Okay, so what's going on? The 7 branches of the menorah, the absence of each prevents, let's say, fulfillment of the mitzvah with others. Say, it's 7 lamps. The absence of each prevents fulfillment of the mitzvah with the others also respectively. Now, based, let's say, on these very extensive instructions, one might reasonably assume that the menorah must be made of a single piece of gold, weigh a talent, have 7 branches with 7 lamps, and includes specific decorative elements by it. Very, very interesting enough. So just to recap. Now the Mishnah tells us or teaches us that it's important for the menorah to have exactly 7 branches, each with its own lamp. So why is it? Having established this, we might have expected over here that the Talmud to expand on the menorah's, let's say, on the menorah's many other requisite details over here. However, it does almost the opposite. The Gemara instead goes on to explore how almost all other aspects of the menorah's construction are indeed over here somewhat flexible. It brings a number of different brightots we're going to build this on over here today, friends, each appearing to move further from the Torah's original directions. First, we learned that the menorah must be made of a single piece of metal, naturally, but the requirement that it be made from its gold is flexible. Perhaps any metal will do, you could argue. And further, if the menorah is made of gold, then it must be made from a talent's measure of gold, and inside the decorative cups over there, the knobs and flowers. But if it's made from other metals, we are no longer require this specific measure or the decoration. And let's say over here, its menorah is made of gold, it must be made from a single piece. But if it is made from other metals, it can then be made from fragments over here. Just using the My Jewish Learning website here as a resource. They put a lot of stuff on the Talmud over here. Now, among these, let's say, permissive brightot, which we're actually exploring, virtually the only matter that remains over here constant is a requirement that the menorah has 7 branches with 7 lamps. Naturally, obviously, unlike the Chanukiah we have on Hanukkah, which has 8 branches, respectively, because there's 8 days of Hanukkah. That's something I'll just point out, and the shamash also on the side, so not to get confused. So let's say the Rabbanim, the Chachamim, they will justify each individual element of, let's say, this flexible map in of itself with, let's say, arguments from the text itself of the Gemara. But they never, let's say, necessarily will speak over it from a rational point of view. We have to point out for, with regards to the menorah's requirements in, let's say, the first place. For this could be different variations. So there's the brighter is actually going to conclude itself that affirms a distinction between these essential structural elements and the other negotiable details. It also requires that the, let's say, the menorah over here not be replicated outside of the Bet HaMikdash. Is another importance that is stated over. Now, let's say the rabbis would very much hold that the Bet HaMikdash and its vessels must not be recreated in other settings, just as, let's say, it could be talking in the realms of Avodah Zarah, idolatrous to make an image of a foreign god. It is also idolatrous in its own way to appropriate holy temple imagery for mundane everyday context. Now, let's say this source is going to confirm that the fundamental identity...
Is this a live one?
Yeah, the identity for mundane everyday context. Very interesting. This source itself is going to, let's say, confirm that fundamental identity of the menorah is in its 7 branches itself. Structure alone. If one wants to avoid idolatry and distinguish over here their personal lamp from the Torah menorah, as we do every year on Hanukkah, all they need to do is to add or subtract to a branch itself, respectively, which is very, very interesting. Hi, yes, so very interesting. So that is in today's Gemara, and we learn all about the Kalim of the Bet HaMikdash, respectively in Parshat Teruma, which is going to come actually next week's Parsha, because at the moment we are in Parashat Mishpatim. This Shabbat itself, the Mishpatim is dealing, let's say, with the ordinances and the various different laws inside the Torah. As we just got the 10 Commandments, Aseret HaDibrot, in the Torah portion, which we learned about in Parshat Yitro, which was just last week in of itself, respectively. So very interesting. Truma will talk about not just a menorah and different mizbechot, different altars of the Bet HaMikdash, how to fashion them, the shulchan. You learn about the lechem hapanim, the 12 loaves of breads, showbreads in of itself, respectively, and the churuvim and different kelim of the Bet HaMikdash. One of the favorite books of many, many people out there is to actually buy these books with the diagrams of the temple of the Bet HaMikdash, respectively, where people get excited by seeing all the gold and the silver and the different colors also embodying it. And we also learn about, friends over here, I think in Parshat Tetzaveh, which will be the Parsha after Parshat Truma, that will deal with the clothing of the Kohanim, where the priests will actually wear inside the Bet HaMikdash, because we're talking all about the Korbanot. It was done by the Kohanim, and Levim will perform the songs inside the Bet HaMikdash respectively, and it was all harmonious and let's just say blended in together very much, and something that very much we have to learn about. And I really recommend everyone that we're coming into these parashiot, how important it is that we learn it, we educate others about it, get the diagrams, because nowadays we're living in a very visual day and age. Many people sometimes they might struggle to actually comprehend what's actually being spoken about over here, what's different importances within regards to Kalim inside the Bet HaMikdash, and so on and so forth. And that's the advantage of having diagrams, to be able to, let's just say, picture everything, what's going on, picture all the different pieces of a puzzle, and so on and so forth within regards to that, friends. So which is let's say very, very amazing on itself, and very, very interesting. So over here, so today we actually did a lot of filming in Jerusalem. We did a lot of tours over there, just to let you fantastic people know over here. And we're speaking, we're in page 28 here of Masechet Menachot. Very exciting. We did a lot of filming for the Daf Yomi clips for page 29 and a few pages in the 30s itself respectively. So I recommend everyone to watch those videos. It's actually quite a hot day here. We're actually already towards mid-February. Can you believe it? Mid-February 2026. So now the country definitely needs more rain. That's something I will very much have to state here on the onset. But how important it is actually to inject ourselves with a boost of Talmud every single day. And there's some excellent notes I usually use, just to state from the outset. Rav Adin Science House has some excellent notes on the internet within regards to the Daf Yomi clip. I looked at My Jewish Learning also today within regards to some insights on this. There's an Osameach website. They've got various different Talmud tips, and on Daily Gemara on the Daf Yomi. I very, very much recommend everyone to actually look inside those pages also respectively. And Menachot, just it's, if you look back at the, let's just say, the history of the videos we've done over here, we did a very, very beautiful introduction of Masechet Menachot, which talks about all the different meal offerings and the korbanot and the sacrifices itself respectively. And we really got into like the bases where what one would definitely will help to learn the introduction itself in regards to Masechet Menachot, as we've already powered through 4 weeks, friends. So it's actually interesting because there's a massive community out there where, there's probably hundreds of Daf Yomi Shirim internationally that's going on. So we are very much part over here of a big, big group of people. It's not just whoever's learning it on this channel, whoever's watching or listening on this channel. We're part of a global community where you've got like hundreds of different chaborot, different people that are, joining together and learning, and within regards to the daily page of the Daf Yomi, and we're educating and pushing each other on, and one cannot do it without the other over here. So it's not just about me doing it, it's a we are doing it together like a community, as we're coming and we're learning, we're educating, we're absorbing. So many synagogues you've got all across the world will actually give over tidbits within regards to the Daf Yomi, and educate and so on and so forth. That's something that I very much have to point out. One thing we like to do here on this channel over here is we like to go to different places all over Israel to, let's just say, garner up different knowledges on the daily page of Daf Yomi. It's very, very interesting. So we've already done, I believe, 28 pages already, which is very, very interesting. And we just hope we can go from strength to strength at the moment and learn more and educate more within regards to this at the moment. So I'm just recording this here from the city of Bet Shemesh. We've got a bit of a, let's just say, just in a bit of traffic at the moment, but very, very interesting. So we are just, we like to get about and learn more and more. So that's something that we are very much doing. And we also don't just do videos, friends, here on Daily Tidbits of Daf Yomi. We record other videos. We are recording at the moment, let's say, an encyclopedia on the history of great rabbis from yesteryear, from various different North African countries and Ottoman places and Asian countries over here, which is absolutely phenomenal at the moment. We've already covered about 1,400 biography videos of famous Chachamim from yesteryear, which I would very much recommend everyone to actually look into those videos, and that's really going from strength to strength. Also, we do tours all over Israel. We'd love to tour different parts of Israel. We go to Yerushalayim, where we were today. We did multiple tours in Jerusalem, the capital of Israel today. where we explore different historic sites. We went to various different famous Zionistic sites today, for example. One other project that we are very, very excited about over here is I recorded with another great rabbi of current day or of yesteryear here on this channel, of various different yeshivot in Israel or different places where they give over a burst of wisdom for Am Yisrael and really, really inspire the public in of its own right, and which is very, very much exciting to state over. So that's another exciting project. We do short clips also. We go famous sites, record, and we post it online. So many people can they want to see just that specific site they're looking for, they will find it, and very, very interesting place. And there's fantastic, let's just say, feedbacks within regards to that. And also, we're not shy. We do speak about current events from a Torah lens, what's going on globally. So we do try and examine that in of its own right, and really look into histories and so on and so forth. So within regards to that, so yeah, many reasons, friends. Everyone, if you're new to the channel over here and you're tuning in live for the first time, welcome to our community over here. Because this community there's two words to community: com and a unity. So it's there's a unity in this com in of its own right. Let's just say in of itself. And rabbinic history also in all over different walk parameters, let's just say in of itself. We like to explore the various different synagogues in Israel and so on and so forth. There's so much exciting, and archaeologies, not to forget the archaeologies. One of the favorite bits within regards to this channel is the archaeology of Israel, to examine, explore, to see, and just to drink, let's just say, the different places all across Israel, and just in of its own right on all different aspects over here. So very, very interesting, and yeah, wishing you all well, and Shavua Tov Rach. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, friends. We are nearing at the moment 9,000 subscribers. Let's try and get to that by the Jewish festival Purim. Purim is very, very short. It's going to be in under a month time over here. So one of the things about Tu B'Shvat, it's not just a joyous day. It happened. Tu B'Shvat happens to be 30 days before the Jewish festival Purim. So that's why it is also very, very much significant and important in of its own right over here. So friends, everyone tuned in live, thank you very much for watching, and just running a few errands at the moment, and welcome, and everyone have a beautiful day here, recording this from Ramat Bet Shemesh Aleph in the city of Bet Shemesh over here in Israel. So I'll just park up, and yeah, perfect, bullseye. Couldn't have done it. Just running an errand now over here, friends.